So let's get started with punishment. I think this is always a good place to start because this is basically the list of your fastest, strongest moves. And these are always a good thing to have locked and loaded as you learn everything else that evolves from here on out. So remembering these moves is key because they're going to appear all over the place. Your opponent's going to make mistakes and you have to capitalize on that free damage. So learning how to punish is very pivotal on top of, like I said, having a good list of moves to start from. You could live your entire life with jabs and hop kicks if you really wanted to, but there's still plenty more to learn. This is where it gets started from your punishers. So to begin with 10 frames, Lili has 1-2 jabs like most of the cast does, but she also has 1-2-3 and 1-2-4. You can see neither of these is a natural combo, it's just a mix-up afterward. The 1-2 does minimal damage, but if you want to go for the 3, that could hit them a lot. And if they feel like ducking, the mid hits them, right? 1-2-4 can generally be sidestepped, but if the 1-2 punches connect, I don't believe they can sidestep in there. They have to hold this mix-up. So that's a little bit annoying to deal with. You get a quick little punish and then some more annoyance. That's enough to keep your opponent guessing, you know, a little bit off balance, but it's not a huge reward. Your go-to 10-frame punisher is actually 2-4. This does a nice chunk of damage and it knocks down and potentially wall splats. The only real issue here is her 2 jab has much less range than her 1 jab. There are plenty of things you're going to block that are -10 or 11 that this will not reach. So you do have to be aware of that. You got to get a useful feel of pushback and realize this is going to work or it's not going to work. Let me just go for some jabs and then annoy them with that, right? So 10 frames got some options. You can go for a simple way or you can go for a slightly technical way to do it. 12 frame is also similar. You got 2 options here. One is 1+2. This is a unique 12 frame mid that not a lot of the cast has. Cause a knockdown, nice chunk of damage. That's perfectly fine, you'd say. At some point, I think it was season 2, they decided that forward 2-3 needed to come from 13 frames down to 12. So now this move comes out in 12 frames, and you think, okay, well this has more damage, and you'll learn this move has fantastic range. This move can just punish anything. It's got super good range. So what do you need 1+2 for at this point? The only thing you need it for is his mid. If you have a forward 2-3 punish where you're worried about a low profile situation, this could miss because it's a high. In that event, you have 1+2, which does the trick pretty well. Keep in mind that if you sidestep and go for a whiff punish, you cannot sidestep with 1+2 because that is a different move. So that's also another reason I think they added forward 2-3 so you could sidestep and do it a little bit better. So 12 is very good. You get nice damage and knockdowns with superior range at 12 frames. 13 back to 1 is all that's worth mentioning. It's not great damage, it's decent, but the takeaway here is your transition into other mix-ups. You can hold back, and Lili stays back turned and can go for mix-ups from there, or you can hold forward and she goes into do glide. Both of these situations give her +7 frames, which is a very good advantage for her to run mix-ups. So if you straight up punish somebody with this and then go into do glide, they're not going to be able to challenge you well. You get basically a free mix-up out of that you could do lots and lots of things with. Right? You can go into this and fake them out and all kinds of stuff. So as far as a punishment tool, this one isn't based on damage, this is based on potential. Back to 1 can actually get you some interesting stuff out of it. The next thing to talk about is her hop kick. At 15 frames, she has a hop kick, which is very good. It's got a nice long hitbox in, a little bit evasive. It's an above average hop kick. This is what you're going to use for pretty much anything you get a nice clean punish on, hop kick him. The other thing worth mentioning is 3-1. This has better range in the forward direction. That 3 kick reaches from way out there, and if you're near the wall, you get a wall bounce from it too. So 3-1 is better near the wall, does more damage and you get your bounce. But other than that, your 15 frame hop kick is it. At 16, Lili's down forward 2 is a basic launcher. And it's not really like distinguishable in many ways. It's slightly more damage than your hop kick, but you don't need to know stuff that's 16 and go for this. You could just stick to your hop kick and live your life that way. There's no reason to bother. But it's there. 16 frames, down forward 2. Crouching punishers while standing 4 is excellent. It's 11 frames, but it knocks down. This is a knockdown off an 11 frame punish that still leaves Lili safe on block in case you miss. 13 frames, she has 1-2. This is decent. 31 damage isn't bad. Actually, it's pretty decent, to be honest. It's pretty decent. You get +8 frames with it. That's actually a little above average, I guess, for 13. Some characters have 13s that also knock down, but, you know, if you want to knock down, you can go for this. If you want the damage at 13, you go for this and your frame advantage. Just be careful. If you miss, this can get ducked a lot and you'll get blown up for it, so don't miss. 14, we have the full crouch down forward 1. This move causes a nice flip over knockdown on normal hit, so at a 14 frame Punisher, this is very good stuff to do. Like that move a lot. Got a nice hitbox to it, not going to get low profile or anything, it reaches very far. And at 15, you have Hotkick because it's a crouching position and you can press up to get a Hotkick from crouch, so that's a good option at 15 frames. And 16 while standing 2. So those are kind of a similar paradigm, right? If it's 16, you do have while standing 2, which is a better launcher, or while standing up, you have down forward 2, which is a better launcher, but you don't really need them. You could just stick with a Hotkick and you'll be okay. It's just one more thing to learn down the road. Okay, I know that move is 16. Let me try to hit him with the big one, you know? That's all it is. It's just a little bit of embellishment. Your Hotkick is good enough. Your down forward 2s are a little better if you need them. So let's talk about whiff punishing. Close range stuff, if you're just maneuvering around and you get a nice quick whiff, your 12 frame punishers, 1+2 is very good, and forward 2+3 is very good. This is just good in general, just be dancing around them wherever you might be, and you see them come up short, bang, you can tag them with this in so many situations. It's really reliable. It's got such good range. This stops people in their tracks. If you get a good clean sidestep off of somebody and they miss, your sidestep 3 and all those follow-ups, very good. There's tons of things you can do here. Forward 4 is guaranteed. You could do the round out kick, which hits them, and then Oki and stuff. Lots of things. Sidestep 3 is pretty good if you get a nice clean sidestep. Or if you get a nice clean sidestep, you can always hop kick as well, right? Keep that in mind. If you get a good clean whiff punish, hop kick is always available. If you're a little bit further away, next on the list is forward 4. Forward 4 is an excellent whiff punish tool at longer distances. If you're outpacing them and they come up short, that's going to reach them like no matter where you are. It's about in the same territory as 3-1. If you happen to be near that wall, you want to look for whiff punishes with 3-1 so you can get that wall bounce. We'll talk a little bit more about it in the defensive section of the playstyle, but that's pretty much all you're looking for whiff punishes. Your 12 frame knockdowns are good, your hop kick is pretty reliable, and you've got some really good long range stuff.